But this video is just to give you an idea of what to expect for the California Law and Ethics exam. Now, this isn't a video that's going to give you the questions and exactly word for word what was in the exam, because unfortunately, I'm sure you've Googled it, and there's no way you can know what's on the exam. It's meant to be that way. Part of our ethics is about not disclosing what's on the exam to other people, because we want to have professionals in this field who know the laws and the ethics of what it takes to be a counselor or a marriage and family therapist. So if you're Googling, what's on the exam, whatnot, and how come nobody really talks about it, it's because we're technically not allowed to. And we don't want to just affect the exam, because if I was to go on a video and tell you guys, hey, what's on the exam, I can get my license taken away, or my associate license is taken away, and the board would have to create new tests, and it'll just destroy everything that they built up so hard to make. So this video is just basically going to be about how to go about taking the exam, and basically what to expect on a basis based on what you get in this book right here. So the first thing you want to do is, if you're thinking about taking the law and ethics exam, is you want to do it before your first year of your associate MFT or your associate LPCC. So the reason why you need to do it before your first year is because you are required to, in order to renew your license. So make sure you do it within your first year. And another tip that I'm going to suggest to you guys is to also do it at least 3 months before your year is expired for your MFT or LPCC associate. So make sure you do that ahead of time, because the last thing you want to do is you don't want to go a year with practicing, and then all of a sudden you got your exam, and then you have to register. And believe it or not, you have to register for the exam, and it takes about 15 to 30 days for you to be okay through the BBS for you to take the exam. So you have to really, really plan this in advance, and you have to be careful, and you don't want to wait to the last minute. That's the worst. So I encourage everyone to go to the BBS right now, and at least register for the exam and set a date for you. I knew with what I did, I had to take a little bit of a break from practicing with clients, because some of my friends failed the exam, so I had to take it seriously. And with a full caseload, it's very hard to kind of keep your mind away from your clients and just focus on this important exam. So I encourage you guys to take the time to actually study for this, and the best of luck to you. So the first tip number 1 is register for the exam early, because it takes about 15 to 30 days until you're approved to take the exam. Once you're approved to take the exam, you are going to get this in the mail. Boom. This is by the BBS, and this is basically just kind of an outline of what to expect for the law and ethics exam. And I really like this. I really didn't open it until almost 2 weeks before the test because I'm just so weird like that. What you're going to do to register for the exam, after you've registered through the BBS, you have to register again to make an appointment to take the exam. Is you have to go on www.psiexams.com, and luckily there's plenty of test locations in the area. So you look for the test location, boom, you schedule your test. All right, so I'm gonna just skip miles ahead, okay? So I'm gonna go straight into, okay, you schedule the test, now it's the day of the test. What do you do? What do you bring? So first of all, no electronics are allowed, obviously, for people who have taken advantage of the past and used electronics to cheat. So you can't bring your cell phone. You can't bring a notepad in there, or you can't bring your own notes in there. So when you get in there, make sure you bring your ID and you bring this book, because this helps you, and it helps the staff there kind of distinguish what kind of tests that you're taking, because I guess it's through a third-party company, and they take a lot of BBS exams, or a lot of California state exams, I should say. So as soon as you get there, they're gonna ask you for your ID. You're gonna lock all your belongings. You're basically gonna have nothing in your hands. No, they're gonna check your pockets, make sure that you don't have anything in your pockets. And they sit you down, They verify that you are this person. You have to verify, where you live and all that stuff. And then you have to take a picture to verify that it's you and that ID, because they, once again, they want to make sure that no one's taking it for you. So it's pretty much like Fort Knox. So you don't want to pay. I mean, that would be unethical anyways, to pay for somebody else to take the exam for you. I don't recommend that. You're going to get caught, you lose your license. It's not worth it. So you just go in there, do it yourself. You sit down, they take a picture of you, boom, they tell you, okay, cool, you're ready to take the exam. Are you ready? You'll say yes, probably, maybe no, you'll be afraid, you'll run away, whatever. But if you say yes, you go into another room. It's filled with different cubicles and other people taking their state exams. And basically you're given earmuffs or earplugs, your choice. I didn't use any of it. And then you sit down on the computer and you take the exam. Now, this test is electronic. It is through the computer. So just a heads up. The test is 75 questions. 75 questions. 25 of those supposedly are experimental and they don't count, but you don't want to be like, oh, if I miss 25 questions, it's okay because 25 questions don't count, No, yes, you want to study as hard as you can. Like I said earlier, I had a few friends really fail the exam. They were bummed out about it, so I recommend you guys study hard. Like I said earlier, take the time to study, and so you'll be successful. So that's what it is. And as soon as you're done taking the exam, they'll tell you right there and then if you pass or if you failed. So it's beautiful. I like it. I like knowing, whether you pass or fail right away, because I don't like the anticipation of waiting 2 weeks in the mail and for a note to tell you, hey, you failed. That probably sucks. Yeah, that's what to expect in the exam. Another thing, if you look at this, book, this is the book for marriage and family therapists. This is what you're going to expect, and the website is right here, where you're going to basically make an appointment to take the exam. So open up this book. It's very valuable. It also has 3 questions in there, 3 gimmies basically, multiple choice questions. I'm going to read one real quick because obviously you're going to get the book yourself, so I'm not going to waste my time reading all the questions. The answers are in there at the bottom. So one of the questions reads, an intern is considering asking his clinical supervisor to be his therapist. The intern would like to address ongoing personal relationship issues. Which of the following actions should the intern take to manage the ethical issue in this case? Now, this is a law and ethics exam. This question is testing an ethical dilemma here. You have multiple choice responses. Obviously, when you look at it, you're going to see that the answer, it's also on the bottom, so I'm not doing any spoilers. The answer is seek personal therapy from another therapist to avoid a dual relationship. Because in the ethical codes, it does state that having dual relationships with a supervisor and an intern or associate is basically unethical, and you never want to seek personal therapy with your supervisor, even though supervisors are nice and more than willing to help. What a supervisor is supposed to do is refer you to a therapist, because they don't want to kind of blend this teaching role to a therapist role and whatnot. So yeah, it has 3 questions in there. So take a look at it. It's on page 10. Just 3 easy questions what to expect. Now the sections on the exam, in page 11, they tell you what you're basically going to expect. They have the law section and the ethics section, but then it goes into a little bit of detail of what that law really means, like and the amount of questions to expect on the test out of the 75 questions that I said the test had earlier. So first, the first area, which is law, is based on confidentiality, and there's going to be about 7 questions on the exam, which is about 14% of the test. The ethics side, there's going to be professional competence and preventing harm, which is about 9 questions, which is 18%. Another law portion of the exam is mandated reporting and the limits to confidentiality, and for that there's about 8 questions and 16%. So this whole section kind of breaks down what areas of the exam to expect. Okay, and why is this important? Because it kind of gives you an idea of what to study for. The test is not gonna be in sections where it's like, this is the law section, this is the ethics section. No, this test is trying to test your knowledge of law and ethics and your ability to distinguish between what our laws are and what our ethics are. Obviously, there's some blended topics with law and ethics such as confidentiality that are there. And but just make sure you look out for those questions on the exam that test your ability to know the difference between a law and an ethical dilemma. And this is going to be black and white in the exam. It's not going to be something like you're like, oh my gosh, what is this or what is that? No, this is going to be based on hard facts that are out there based on our BBS board of laws that we have, and based on our ACA code of ethics and whatnot. So yeah, if you turn to page 12 and 13 of this book, it tells you the sections that I just discussed: confidentiality and privilege, and then it tells you what the task statements are and what you need to know. Knowledge of laws regarding confidential communications within therapeutic relationship. Knowledge of laws regarding the disclosure of confidential information to other individuals, professionals, agencies, of authorities. And then the bottom, again, just in detail. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to go on and on. I mean, I hope this was very helpful for you guys that have no idea and are kind of anxious because this test is coming up. There's plenty of programs out there, TDC, that supposedly guarantees you passing. There is also Gary Grossman, I believe, has one. Highly recommend Ben Caldwell, just an amazing guy, speaks so eloquently. There are audio, there are visual. I love videos, so I use the visual videos to help me for the exam. But everyone's different, and take advantage of these platforms that are out there. Read the law, read the ethics, the ACA Code of Ethics. I highly recommend those. Go on Camped Code of Ethics. Read those just to get your ethics, because I'm sure we all took law and ethics in college. So just to give you a little bit of a refresher. I hope this was helpful. If you guys want me to upload more videos regarding like confidentiality or regarding privilege or subpoenas and how to deal with subpoenas, I'd be more than happy to upload videos, because one of the things that I hated the most about the technology and the videos and the audio stuff is that there wasn't really anything on YouTube. There really wasn't. Maybe because it's a free source and anybody can look at it publicly and say, hey, let me study. So I'm thinking about making videos that can help people that just want to do it for free. But if there's a demand for it, if there isn't, not a big deal. I'm not going to waste my time. I could continue practicing on my craft and learning how to be a better therapist because we all need that. Yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to reach out and answer some of your questions. But that's all, and I hope you guys have a great day. Good luck on your exams. Take this seriously. I don't want you guys to fail. You guys need to pass this. This is your profession. You need to kick this test butt. All right, take care, y'all. Goodbye.